How do you turn a chaotic harem comedy into a story about what love actually costs? A Couple of Cuckoos season 1 was loud, silly, and absurd in all the right ways. Babies swapped at birth, rich family drama, oops we're engaged energy. It was fun. But season 2 quietly does something different. Yes, it's still funny. Yes, people still punch each other instead of hugging. Yes, there is a fake wedding and a hotel kidnapping. But underneath all of that, season 2 keeps circling one really human question. Are you getting married for love or for someone else's expectations? And that's where this rom-com suddenly becomes way more real than it has any right to be. From the very beginning, this season hammers home one idea. Marriage is the central point. Not in a fluffy, who will he end up with way, but in a heavier, almost uncomfortable sense. Erika literally asks if she and Nagi should get married just to make their parents happy. That's not a cute question, that's a question loaded with pressure, obligation, and fear. Nagi is stuck between a fiance he barely knows but slowly grows to care about, Hiro, a crush from school, a little sister who suddenly has feelings, and a childhood friend, I, who appears like a ghost from the past. On the surface, it's a 4-girl harem. Underneath, it's a story about how adults try to script their children's lives and what happens when those children start asking, do I even want this? So let's start with I. She shows up like a glitch in Nagi's carefully constructed present, a childhood crush who suddenly re-enters his life, complete with shared memories from 7 years ago. We get these scenes of I reminiscing with Nagi about mundane little moments, walking home together, small conversations, and tiny promises. On paper they are comedic and light, but there is this thread of nostalgia for the mundane, because that's what childhood crushes are. Not big dramatic declarations, but small memories that suddenly feel important years later. I represents the path not taken, the version of Nagi who maybe never got swapped, the alternate life where love grew naturally instead of being arranged. And yet, even when she comes in clutch to save him from the hotel situation, Nagi refuses to run away. He literally says that running away won't solve anything, something he learned from Hiro's ideals. I is the temptation to go back to something simple, but Nagi stays in the complicated present. That's growth, even if he doesn't fully realize it yet. Then there is Erika. Her storyline this season is almost disturbingly funny. Her mother doesn't just nudge her towards marriage, she basically kidnaps her and Nagi, puts them in a hotel for 2 weeks, controls the room temperature, the TV, the environment. She has cameras watching them like it's a twisted reality show. On the surface, comedy, they're arguing, Nagi is tied up at one point, Erika falls asleep next to him in this awkward pseudo-intimate setup. Underneath, it screams, I'm not ready for my daughter to grow up. If your mom is willing to force you into a hotel, skip your school days, and monitor your interactions, that's not romance, that's control. It doesn't feel like she's trying to bless Erika's future, it feels like she's trying to freeze her in time. Keep her as a kid, as a doll, as something she can still move around the world. And the show quietly confirms this through Nagi, when he stands up to Erika's mom and says he won't judge Erika based on a quiz about her past. He isn't just protecting Erika, he's rejecting this controlling, conditional version of love. And then there is the moment the mother spots Nagi's biological father in him and recoils. It feels like she's projecting her unresolved feelings, her pain, her regret all onto these kids. She isn't just strict, she's coping, and she's making the next generation pay for it. My favorite part of this season is when the characters finally start talking about what marriage means. Erika tells Ai that just getting married doesn't guarantee a happy life. She flat out says, "You can't have a guaranteed happy future, even if everything looks perfect on paper." And the show backs that up by quietly comparing families. Ai's parents are broken up, Erika's parents rarely see each other, they're powerful, wealthy but distant. Hiro's family is traditional, structured, arranged. And then there is Nagi's ordinary parents, not rich, not powerful, just running a restaurant and actually happy together. The paradox is almost obvious. The family with the least money has the most love. The show never screams this at you, but it's there. Status doesn't equal stability. Being well matched doesn't mean you're emotionally safe. A beautiful engagement doesn't promise a beautiful life. And this is where Erika shines. She's the one who starts saying things like, "You can't guarantee happiness just by getting married." For a character introduced as a spoiled rich girl, that's a huge step towards self-awareness. Then there is Hiro Segawa. She wants marriage with Nagi, not as a fantasy, but as something they need to work for. Their relationship isn't about wishful thinking, but about confronting obstacles that stand in their way. Their biggest obstacle? Her mother. There is a moment where Nagi suggests that based on Hiro's mother's behavior, she must truly love her husband. But Hiro's mother sharply rejects the idea, calling openly, saying, "I love my husband," a Western notion. It's played as a joke, but underneath it is a cultural reality. Emotions are often expected to stay unspoken. Affection is expressed through duty, not words. Vocalizing love can feel foreign or even improper. That leaves Hiro caught between two worlds. The world she was raised in, where love is quiet and indirect, and the world she wants with Nagi, where love is chosen and expressed, not assumed. This is why the fake wedding between her and Nagi works on two levels. On the surface, it's comedy, but deeper down, it's a rehearsal for rebellion, a test of what it feels like to choose each other despite parental expectations. Of course, Sachi bursts in and stops the kiss because this show refuses to let any moment be simple, but the message lands. Everyone is struggling against a version of love written for them. Well, talking about Sachi's storyline might be the most painfully realistic. There is the kiss during the photo shoot, impulsive, confusing. Then later that night, she lies in bed with Erika and they talk. She says she kissed Nagi on purpose, then she laughs it off like a joke, then she starts crying. That back and forth, "I did it on purpose, I was kidding, no, I don't know what I'm doing," is exactly what it feels like to be that age and not understand your own feelings. She's not manipulative, she's lost. Her crush on Nagi is tangled up in sibling dynamics, admiration, jealousy, the fear of being left behind. And Nagi? He genuinely doesn't know how to handle her. Erika has to step in and set the stage for them to actually talk it out. Almost like she's directing a play where these two kids are finally honest. This is one of the rare harem anime where a girl's confused feelings aren't just played for laughs. They're uncomfortable, they're messy, they're human. Of course, this is still a rom-com and the comedy is genuinely great this season, but if you look closely, the jokes are also character psychology. Nagi isn't motivated by grand declarations, he's motivated by 10 vouchers to the school cafeteria, extra study material in a locked hotel room, tiny bribes that most people wouldn't care about. He's simple in a way, but also very pure. He doesn't chase love through big gestures, he just quietly shows up. He refuses to run away from hard conversations. He punches the guy who badmouths Erika at the M1 event, not because it's romantic, but because it's right. And that punch has consequences. He gets suspended from school. That's another important detail. This season lets actions have weight. It doesn't just reset every episode like a sitcom. Choices cost something. The cultural festival episodes are where the show leans fully into classic anime romance aesthetics. We get food stalls, haunted houses, theater plays, an idol concert at the M1 competition. It's very anime. Yes, but it's also very intentional. They perform Romeo and Juliet. Of course they do. Because what better metaphor is there for love blocked by families, two people pulled apart by outside forces, drama that everyone else treats like entertainment. And then there is that one scene. Nagi tells Erika to watch out, because this time he's her rival. He'll take her down at the cultural competition. She stops, the wind moves her hair, a train passes in the background, the crossing sound beeps, the light goes red, the sky is painted orange and yellow from the setting sun. For just a moment, everything goes quiet. It's a cliché, and yet it works, because in that silence, Erika lets herself hope. I thought maybe we would be on the same side this time. It's not a confession of love, but it's the closest thing she can manage at that moment. This show understands that sometimes the most honest lines are the ones that sound like throwaway comments. The M1 event is wild. Their performance is basically a public confession of their entire birth switch history. They turn their messy lives into a stage show, into content. Someone insults Erika, Nagi snaps and punches him. As a result, he gets suspended. When he comes home, you would expect a scolding or more drama. Instead, we get one of the most intimate moments of the season. Erika quietly cheers him up. She leans in and kisses him. And again, the sound drops out. The colors turn warm, orange, yellow, soft. Time slows down. It's not a joke. It's not a dare. It's not for the bit. It's Erika finally being honest. From that point on, the season slowly shifts their dynamic. She starts admitting, at least to herself, that she likes him. And eventually, Nagi confesses too. He says his feelings. She runs towards him, and in classic Erika fashion, she punches him instead of hugging him. Because even in her honesty, she's clumsy. She still doesn't quite know what to do with love that feels real. Right when it feels like we are finally moving forward with Erika and Nagi, her father steps in. He wants them to stop living together. Not forever, but long enough to think about their feelings. At first, it feels like another adult controlling their lives. But then he says something interesting. He talks about his own relationship. How long it took to hold hands, how many years before the first kiss. And Erika, instead of rebelling, says something like, "Then I want to take it step by step too." This is the opposite of the forced marriage plot we started with. We began the season with adults pushing kids to rush. We end the season with kids asking to slow down. And the father finally listens. He admits he rushed them. He says he saw himself in Erika and Nagi. He lets them keep living together. Then he drops one of the best lines in the season. The story doesn't go at the pace you wish. It's not just about romance, it's about life. You can't make love move faster just because you're scared of waiting. You can't freeze your children at the age where you still understand them. You can't design a perfect marriage and expect people to grow into it like a uniform. Life refuses to read your script. One clear meta thing the show keeps doing is breaking the fourth wall. Some of the girls call themselves background characters. They mention it multiple times, like they're aware they are not the main heroine, even as they're actively changing the story. Erika and I, for example, fight and then make up in a way that almost feels more like two boys in a shonen anime, clashing and then bonding. It subverts that stereotype of girls fight once and become lifelong enemies. Sachi kisses Nagi and then spirals emotionally. Ai calls romance with obstacles the most exciting kind. Hiro battles her own upbringing. All of them are orbiting Nagi. Yes, but they also have their own arcs, their own opinions on what love should be. And then, in the background, the show plants a new seed. Nagi's brother. He's there, watching, unseen by Nagi, observing from the sidelines. He feels almost like a villain setup, not in a mustache-twirling way, but as a person who might disrupt all these fragile balances later. Because if Season 2 is about everyone realizing what they want, Season 3 might be about what happens when someone else has the power to take it away. Near the end, we get this almost symbolic image. All four girls who like Nagi are gathered together, looking at the fake wedding photos. They're all in different clothing styles. A white wedding dress, a kimono with Japanese flair, a kipao representing Chinese culture, a school uniform, the everyday life they are still living. It looks like a collage of possible futures. A traditional wedding, a modern one, a cross-cultural one, a we stayed classmates forever one. We then see what looks like a normal wedding, the kind you would see anywhere in the world, and Nagi quietly wonders which girl he should be with. Just when you think the season is going to end on that ambiguous note, Hiro turns to him in the next scene and asks, "Do you want to go out with me?" And that's the end. No answer, no closure, just possibility. Season 2 doesn't tell us who Nagi will choose. What it does tell us is that his choice, when it comes, won't be about who looks best in a dress, who knew him first, or who his parents prefer. It'll be about whose version of love matches the person he's becoming. So what happens when a rom-com stops hiding behind jokes and actually asks what love costs? In A Couple of Cuckoos Season 2, we get an answer that's surprisingly mature. Love is not a reward for doing what your parents want. Love is not guaranteed by marriage. Love is not a neat script where everyone hits their marks. It's messy, it's slow, it's full of misunderstandings and regrets and "I'm kidding" followed by tears. It doesn't move at the pace you wish. This season starts with arranged marriages and controlling parents. It ends with kids asking to take things step by step, and a father finally admitting that he can't control the story anymore. Maybe that's the quiet beauty of this season. It begins like a harem comedy, but it leaves you with something softer, more honest. The most meaningful romance isn't the one destiny chooses for you, it's the one you grow into. Slowly, clumsily, and on your own terms.